It's likely that when your puppy first comes home, they will have already received their first round of vaccinations from the breeder. Now, many puppy parents are really unsure of what they can safely do with a puppy at this time, before pup gets all 3 rounds of vaccinations. Are you allowed to take them outside? What are you going to do about walking or even play dates? In addition, sometimes your vet might tell you not to take your puppy out before they've had all 3 rounds of vaccinations. Yikes! This can be detrimental to your puppy's overall health and well-being. I'll share what I mean in a minute. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about some good things and some not so good things to do with your puppy before the vaccination schedule is complete. We're also going to go over the things that you absolutely, definitely, totally 100% should do during this critical period. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Now, I've got more amazing videos lined up for you, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and you'll get notified when they go live. So, if you are in the US, the vaccine schedule for new puppies normally goes something like this. First vaccinations at the breeder or rescue at about 7 to 8 weeks of age. Second round of vaccinations shortly after coming home at the first vet checkup. And the third and final round of vaccinations around the 16 to 17 week mark. Now, if you live outside of the US, your schedule might be a little bit different, but you can ask your vet when the series is complete. Now, the day of vaccinations can be a tough one for young puppies. After all, they probably had to go someplace scary and get handled by all kinds of new people. I used to work in a vet's office, and believe me, we loved new puppy visits. The puppies probably didn't feel the same way though. Now, you might see a little different behavior in your pup for the first 24 to 48 hours after these appointments. You might see low energy, reduced appetite, and even soreness at the spot of the injection. This is common, and it's best to let your puppy rest after these big outings. Always contact your vet if you're concerned about your puppy's behavior or activity post-vaccine. At that first vet visit, your doc will probably give you a lot of great information on the care and feeding of your pup, which flea and tick preventatives are best, and rabies vaccine and heartworm meds. Now, your vet might also talk about safety during the first 16 weeks of your pup's life. You definitely want to listen to a professional on this, but that includes certified trainers like myself. Now, if your vet tells you that your puppy is not allowed to go outside until they're fully vaccinated, I highly recommend you look for a new vet. You want to find a vet that understands canine brain development, not just body development. Proper and positive socialization and exposure during this time in your dog's life has lasting impacts on the rest of your dog's life. So the consequences of under-socializing your puppy far outweigh the risks of safely getting out into the world before they're fully vaccinated. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal, Michelle? If the vet says to wait until they're 16 or 17 weeks to go outside, can't we just start neighborhood walks then? Well, you can, but if your pup is 4 months old, by the time he gets his first outing, I think you'll be sorry for the rest of your pup's life. I'm really not being dramatic here. You see, young dogs have a window of opportunity called the imprint period. This is when they're most impressionable and learning how to interact and feel about the world around them. So during the first 16 weeks of your dog's life, you're going to want to expose him slowly and positively to people, places, things, sights, sounds, and smells. This is the most critical time for this activity in their entire lives. This is the time in which their brain begins to form opinions about new things. People who have not allowed their dog to experience new things during this time often report that their dogs are having severe separation anxiety when left alone. They're reactive to new people and things and experience fear from normal things in the environment. Can you imagine living like that? You don't even have to live it. You would have to live with it. Now, we are seeing a lot of this kind of behavior happening after people have been home with their pandemic puppies for months, maybe even years. And once they start getting out or leaving the home, these puppies are simply not prepared to deal with the world around them. That's due to their lack of exposure during this critical time. Believe me, I'm in a lot of dog training and behavior groups, and we are seeing this everywhere. It's really sad, and I don't want this to happen to you. I want your dog to have a happy, healthy relationship, especially with new things. I want your dog to be curious and interested in the world around them, not cowering in fear whenever something different is happening. Now, keep in mind that during the critical imprint period, we want these experiences to be positive. You may be ready to head out and visit every single store and dog park and neighborhood park you can find. But hear me out. I said positively and slowly introduce your puppy to new things. We don't want the deprivation to Disneyland effect to take place. That can be super overwhelming. This means that we expose our dogs to these new things while they can still remain comfortable. We watch for body language that indicates that they're curious and content, not afraid, but merely investigating these new things. If the dog is fearful, that means you've gone too far and it's time to get some more distance or do something different in the training process. Now, I've got some specific suggestions for what you should do with your dog during this time, and I'll go over those in just a moment. First, let's talk about what not to do before the vaccinations are complete, because believe it or not, that's actually a very short list. Now, your vet was right when they told you to keep your dog safe from illness and diseases. You do not want your dog to have unsafe exposure to things before vaccinations are complete, and he or she is fully protected against those diseases. So therefore, I have 3 nopity nopes for you. Do not allow your puppy to have contact with dogs you don't know. Now, if you have other dogs at home, it's fine for your puppy to engage with them. And after the second dose of vaccinations, it's fine to let your puppy interact with playmate dogs outside of your family, as long as they're up to date on vaccinations, of course. Next up, do not allow your puppy to come in contact with surfaces where unknown or stray dogs or even wild animals frequent. Some people think that the pet stores are a great place for socialization, but I actually avoid them with my dogs, even though they've been vaccinated for years. The smells are too overwhelming, the stores are often not cleaned properly, and a lot of animals have been there. No thanks, we have plenty of places to explore that don't include pet stores. Now Pickles, my Cavalier, is a really well-behaved dog. He should be, I am a dog trainer. But the pet store is just one of those places where he would lose his marbles. So we go to other places that he enjoys and aren't so overwhelming. Finally, do not allow your puppy to go to dog parks or neighborhood parks. Unfortunately, too many owners bring inappropriate dogs to the dog park. These dogs tend to start fights, whether they mean to or not. Many people don't follow the rules about leaving food and toys or even young kids out of the park. And many people, they don't know how to read canine body language and they misinterpret the signals that dogs are giving off. Other people bring sick dogs with kennel cough or even contagious warts to the park as well. Now this video here, I can give you more information on dog parks and doggy daycares. And I give you some great ideas on other ways to exercise and socialize your dog. Neighborhood parks are also not a great idea for your new puppy just yet. For that same reason. You just don't know who's been there before you. Now, I do want to point out that if you are concerned with certain life-threatening illnesses or diseases in your area, consult your vet. My main focus is to help you understand how to keep your puppy safe and properly introduced to the world around them during this imprint period. But each area of the country has different risks of serious diseases for puppies. Now, let's talk all about the reasons your puppy will need to go outside before the final round of vaccinations is complete. Number 1, potty training. Now, teaching your puppy that outside is the place for potty is super important during this learning window. Even apartment dwellers should find a way to get their puppy outside to the potty spot. Now, this means finding a place away from other dogs or even finding a spot on the balcony. Staying clear of other dogs will also help your young puppy to focus on his business and not get distracted. Now, I just did a whole video on potty training in an apartment because many of my students were asking me for more advice. So check that one out here. Now, your puppy's brain is forming a lot of opinions during this time, but also a lot of habits too. The longer you let him do what you don't want, the harder it will be to undo this bad habit later. That's one more reason to get that little furry potato outside and ditch those pee pads. Cold, snow, and rain are also not reasons to stay inside for potty. If the post office can deliver it, your puppy can go potty in it. Now, if you're struggling with potty training, check out my free digital new puppy starter kit as a great place to start. Now, you can grab that link in the description below this video. Let's talk about number 2 on my list, exposure. Now, another key reason to get your puppy outside is for positive exposure sessions. This is what I was talking about before, the critical imprint period. Now, keep in mind that exposure does not necessarily mean contact. Your dog can learn a lot just by watching, looking, listening, and then sometimes you can add in investigating by sniffing or touching if he's feeling comfortable. Some of the best ways to work on exposure are by taking a car ride just to watch people, going to airports and just sitting and watching and listening, or checking out schools after hours. The parking lots are a great place to let your pups sniff and explore. Many of my students take their pups to shopping centers to watch cars and trucks and buses and even shopping carts. Yes, shopping carts are new and interesting to puppies. Who knew? Even going through the drive-thru, like at the bank or the coffee place, is also a great idea. Yes, this is your professional dog trainer telling you, go get a coffee. All right, you're also going to want to take this time to expose your puppy to things that might become sources of fear in the future. Some examples would be vacuum cleaners or blenders, wheelchairs, walkers, canes, boats, masks, sunglasses, big hats. Think of the things that might be foreign to a puppy and put that on your list. Do you see where I'm going here? All right, I want you to focus on the positive part just a second longer before we move on. This is the time to build up confidence. Think of it like a human going to an antique store, and they have a lot of interesting things there. Now the shopper is interested and curious and checking it all out. That should be the puppy's mindset during these exposure sessions. Now if he's afraid, you're pushing it too far too fast. We want a puppy who is curious and confident, again, not cowering. Do you see how the puppy will be getting to know so many wonderful new things? You don't need a bunch of new dogs in the picture. Now after the second round of vaccinations, you can set up a playdate or two with a well-known dog who is about the same size and temperament as your dog. But don't let that be the full extent of your dog's socialization and exposure training. All right, the third thing to do before vaccinations are complete is number 3. Exercise your puppy. But how do I safely get him some exercise so he'll relax at night when I want to sit on the couch and watch TV? I get that question a lot. Well, you may have noticed that he's probably not ready for neighborhood walks just yet. And if you don't know, neighborhood walks are actually the last place we go to exercise a puppy. This type of walk includes a level of leash skills that he likely hasn't had a chance to develop yet. Now, while working on leash skills at home in the backyard, you can definitely begin decompression walks instead. So for more information on decompression walks and what equipment you should use, check out this video here. Before vaccinations are complete, you might have to find a safe spot for these decompression walks. Try to think of places where other dogs likely haven't visited. Again, I'm talking about school parking lots after hours or maybe on the weekends, church parking lots, a baseball or soccer field, or cemeteries, or maybe even a business complex before or after hours. Decompression walks are best done on a long leash with a back clip harness. Now, it won't be a perfect walk with excellent heel skills, but that kind of controlled walk is considered a tougher task for most puppies anyway. Also, quality is better than quantity. You do not need to be creating a super athlete here. 10 or 15-minute walks twice a day with some good sniffing can help your puppy settle at night. Now, the general rule of thumb is about 5 minutes per month of age, a couple of times a day. That, coupled with training games and some brain games at home, can often provide all the outlet our puppies need to sleep well. Now, I hope this video cleared up a few things about vaccinations and what is safe for your pup to do before they're complete. I am passionate about this topic, mainly because as a trainer, I'm often called in to fix problems that stem from lack of exposure training during this critical time. I have to be honest, fixing the issue is really hard, even for many experienced trainers. It's sad, but the more I can explain this concept now to new puppy owners, the better off you will be. Now in the comments below, tell me, what are you going to do to work on your puppy's exposure training?